I need your help. More your thoughts, ideas, recommendations on a couple of things. Firstly, about these videos, but also about the T2.5 rides we do as a community. Let's start with the rides. We have started to see a slight drop off in numbers. Now that could be because of the summer effect. Although, have we had much of a summer yet? It's been pretty rainy where I live. It could be that. We've seen the Tuesday trundle numbers drop a little bit, and also, as you know, the Saturday banded ride that we used to do on a Saturday morning, I kind of put a pause on that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we had lower numbers, but also my weekends have been absolutely crazy preparing for the baby, and just, trying to get other stuff done in the house and not have a specific time to jump on the bike made it a bit easier for me. Now, if those numbers had been a little bit higher in the banded ride, maybe we would have found someone else to run that ride, but it just kind of felt at the time we might as well put a pause on it for a while. I am a little bit worried about stopping that ride though, because it's a route into the group for newcomers, for the people that haven't been Zwifting long, a chance to come as part of a band, and just make their riding experience more enjoyable. You can stick with people without necessarily being as strong as some of the big riders. The difficulty with that is there's so many ways now, especially with the clubs function that started up over a year ago now, is that there's so many different ways to join rides, and having to ask for sign-ups in a different location, send out invites, it just gets really quite confusing for someone who's new to Zwift. In the long run, and I know Zwift have announced it, who knows when that's going to happen, hopefully some point in the summer, we'll be able to do banded rides within the clubs function on the companion app, in the same way as we set up all of our other rides. So hopefully that means we can set up that ride a little bit easier, and it's an easier route in for newcomers. We also have the Discord chat, which is lots of people in there, and it's getting busier and busier. I really struggle to keep up with it, especially when I'm busy with work and other stuff. But it's great to see such a community within there. We have 200 members, over 200 members on the club, in the actual club on Zwift, but only a small proportion of that number join the rides. And I want to give the T2.5 community what it wants. That's what you guys want to enjoy riding. Obviously our Thursday night races are still quite well attended. This week's race was a chase race, a mass start race, which was slightly lower in numbers. Is that because it's slightly more difficult for the DCAT, so they don't bother joining that? Possibly. I know I really struggle with that ride myself, because with our chase races, as long as you start with your group, you've got a chance of hanging on together as a group. With the mass start races, it's very, very different. Everybody goes at the start to try and find your category. And everyone within your category, especially the Ds, get dropped off the back of that group at different stages. So to come back together is very difficult, and it becomes a bit more of a lonely ride. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I was chatting with Craig and Chris just about the makeup of the T2.5 group. When I started the group, over 2 years ago, we did our first group ride. I guess there were a lot of people like me who were unfit, maybe moving into Zwift first time. There's a lot more D category riders in Zwift than there used to be back in 5-6 years ago, but maybe more people, because of my channel and what my journey and goal is, maybe though that attracted those sort of people into the group. So we started with a very D category focused group, everyone looking to improve, but over time lots and lots of those people that were in that group have improved to become C's and B's. We've had a slow influx of more D riders joining in, but I think the makeup of the group has changed slightly. It's more it's people now wanting to push themselves harder, do training plans, go in the more difficult races, just because of the nature of the categories that those riders are now in. And I wonder whether there's an element of new riders, D category riders that come into the group, join one of our races, especially if it's the mass start race, and just feel that they're nowhere near the standard needed to just to hang on with each other, with the rest of the group. Even the Ds are strong. I can't keep up with those guys, so you come once and then that's, you know, I don't keep up with them, so I'm not going to bother. Just because over time, that's just the natural progression of the group. That might be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's brilliant that everybody has improved. What I do like, or I want the group to be, is a routine for people like myself. Now, other people have all improved. I know I haven't. I've probably improved my riding. The weight hasn't improved. I'm not anywhere near becoming a C category rider. I know that. But I still want to be welcoming and open to helping those new guys come through. So I'm at a bit of a loss, if I'm honest. I don't really know what to do. Just in case, what do we do for those better riders to keep them, you know, in the group and doing what they want to do and doing more races? Do we need to do more races? Do we need to change the mix up of the races? Do we need to have separate rides to bring in the newcomers and help out in that area? We're now down to 2 rides a week. Does it need to be more? Does it need to be less? Does the mix need to change? I don't really know. Maybe in there's the COVID effect as well. You know, lots of people joining Zwift during the period of time when everyone's at home, and it's just taken a couple of years for the drop off to happen, maybe, and a more natural level. I don't really know what to do, so I want some ideas. I'd love some ideas. How often do you ride with the group? Which of the rides do you join? Do you like the races, the trundles? Would you like more races? Would you like more casual rides? And I want to try and get a mix of responses as well, if I can, to see, you know, if you're a D-Cat rider, what do you prefer to do? If you're a B-Cat, what do you prefer to do? Maybe we do a training, once a week we do a training workout as a group, because you can do those as a banded group. So lots of ideas. Let me know what you think. And as I said, I want to make sure I give the community, or it's not me, it's the community. There's loads of people who help out behind the scenes as well. And we want to make sure that we're providing what you guys want to ride on a regular basis. Let me know. Let's talk about the videos. My second daughter's due in something like 6 or 7 weeks' time. I should really know, shouldn't I? I've been really crunched for time recently with work. I've been working most nights of the week through to bedtime, which has also been late bedtimes. So getting on the bike and doing video stuff has been a little bit more challenging. It's going to get worse. I'm under no illusions, but I don't know what that's going to look like in 2 months, 3 months' time in terms of how much time I've got for riding and how much time I've got for videos. But what I want to make sure is the time I'm focusing on the videos, I'm focusing on something that you guys want to watch. And I'd kind of like to know what that is, which bits about the videos that you enjoy watching. I don't get lost in YouTube views. I don't focus on them too much. I do sometimes go down that rabbit hole and thinking, well, this video is not performing as well as the last one. But the idea of this was to document my journey, and without going into that in too much detail, I know it's not really gone anywhere. I know it's never going to become a massive YouTube channel. I know it's not going to be a big thing. It's never going to be my full-time job. As amazing as that would be, I'm under no illusions we're probably about the level it's ever going to reach. But I do it because I enjoy doing it. I do some, you know, we've got the channel members, which are awesome. And it sounds like a weird thing to say because I do it because I enjoy it, but it does come a little bit of a pressure when you start to think about YouTube views. Right, I need to make sure I release a video on a Sunday. I want to make sure that the guys that support the channel financially out of their own pocket, which is amazing, get a video to watch because I feel that it should do. And sometimes that means that I'm up late on a Saturday night. And it does put that little bit of pressure on you, despite it being something that you enjoy doing. I hope that makes sense. And I don't begrudge that. I do love doing it. It's just a bit of pressure. And then sometimes when the views are lower, you think, okay, I'm putting time and effort into this, and that video's not performed very well. I'll be honest with you, the views on the videos recently have been declining slightly. They've been a little bit lower for a while. And I was looking at some of the analytics behind it, and Most YouTube videos have a massive drop off in retention in the first sort of 30 seconds, and that's pretty normal. And I've asked a couple of people what they like to see, and some people say that they do. A couple of people have said they like to see stuff other than just the Zwift riding. So what I go and do on a daily basis, some of the more interesting things that I do in my life, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing at home, all of that sort of stuff. And then I look at the YouTube analytics, and it's really strange. There's a drop off at the start, and then it sort of levels off at any content that I've got on Zwift when I'm doing my voiceovers and stuff. There's a definite sort of level off on the analytics. So that sort of tells me people would just prefer to see me on the bike doing voiceover stuff of the rides that I do. I don't really know I don't really know which one it is. I did a test recently actually where I did 2 videos where I started off on the bike. The first thing on the screen was Zwift, and the initial retention was definitely higher. And actually, YouTube then pushed that video more. There were more impressions of my videos on people's screens, phones, whatever it is, and the views were slightly bumped up because of that. It just feels strange to me to start a video in Zwift and not the other way. So, as I said, I'm not going chasing views necessarily to or change anything. It was just an interesting test I thought I would do. I'm babbling on a little bit at the moment, but what I would like to know is what you guys want to watch. Do you watch regularly? Do you dip in and out every now and again when it looks like there's an interesting video to watch? Do you skip ahead to watch just the riding? Are you not interested in the rest of the stuff that I do? Or do you enjoy watching the rest of the stuff? I think we've probably got a mixture of viewers, which maybe sometimes why YouTube doesn't quite know what to do with the video in terms of who to promote it to. I think we've probably got the core group of people who are part of the T2.5 community, who watch every video start to finish and they just really enjoy it. They come along to the rides, they join in with the Discord chat, all of that stuff. There's probably a group of people who are maybe Zwifters, who are just interested to skip ahead to my rides to see the pain and the discomfort I'm going through in the middle of a race, not interested with the other stuff. There could be a group of people out there who are not cyclists or Zwifters and they just like to watch how I'm getting on. I have literally no idea, and I've got no way of telling. So I'd love to know if you could just let me know what you enjoy watching. Do you come along to the rides? Do you skip ahead to certain points in the videos? What do you find interesting? What do you not find interesting? What do you not want to see? I think the negative side of it is good to know as well. And just let me know. What I'm going to do is on the Facebook group and the Discord channel, I'm going to put a little area where you can post your thoughts, let me know what you think. Maybe it will start a bit of interaction and discussion going. But also, if you're not part of those groups, or you want to just let me know things anonymously, because you might not want to give negative feedback and put your name on it, that's absolutely fine. In the description below, I'll put a Google Forms link where you can give some feedback on there as well. You don't even have to put your name in it, just let me know what you think. And then hopefully across the rides and the videos, I can try and focus on the right thing in my limited time going forward, and maybe clear up a bit of stuff that's been going around in my head for a little while about wondering what direction to take things and what the best route is. I think I felt a bit lost in both of those things, in the rides and the videos, about just where do we go. I've racked it around in my brains, I've talked it through with a couple of people, and I thought the best way to do it is just to ask you guys. So thank you for everybody who does send in some feedback. I'll read through it, I'll try and interact with as many people as I can, and just get some thoughts going. But I'm now going to stop rabbiting on. Hope this video hasn't bored you to death. Maybe it has, maybe it's completely different to what you'd want to be watching. I don't know. But a huge thank you to the channel members going up the screen right now. I normally say if you've enjoyed this video, maybe you still have, still hit like and subscribe, do all the usual stuff, and then hopefully we'll go back to a normal vloggy weekly video next week. I haven't done a lot this week. I've not been on the bike at all. I've been so busy with work that we haven't even got house stuff done. It's been that crazy. So hopefully things will free up a little bit next week to ride. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one.